Good morning. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I appreciate the hard work you are all doing. My name is Reverend Dr. Leanne Tigert. I'm a minister in the United Church of Christ here in New Hampshire. I'm a licensed pastoral psychotherapist. I am the past president of the New Hampshire Association of Licensed Pastoral Psychotherapists. I'm here to speak to you today to urge you, please, as Gene Robinson said, now is the time to pass House Bill 436. This is a bill that is so vitally important to so many of the citizens across our state. It's hard to speak of how important it is. Before doing that, I also want to say that I'm presently working on a manuscript for a book about same-sex marriage for clergy and for couples. And I can tell you that the history of marriage is one that is very interesting and diverse in our culture, and has taken many forms, of which same-sex marriage is only one. This bill is vitally important to many residents. My partner and I are some of those residents. I've lived here in New Hampshire since 1986, when I was first called to pastor a church. As a member of the clergy, I have officiated at numerous heterosexual weddings and several same-sex civil union ceremonies across the state. I have been surprised, quite honestly, at the difference between the two. Because what I was told and what I believed was that they were exactly the same in terms of their rights and responsibilities in the state. What I have learned since from the stories of many couples as well as our own families is that that is not entirely accurate. Numerous couples have been shocked to discover that the rights that they thought they would have with the civil union bill, in fact, didn't happen. The differences in the cost and availability of health insurance and other benefits granted with marriage as compared to civil unions can be pretty extreme for a family. My partner and I have raised two children, the oldest of which is 23, and she was recently married. The minute that she and her husband were married, they were granted financial privileges and rights that my partner and I of 20 years have not been able to gain. Increased funding for college education is one of the things that they have received, and also more availability for health insurance. The United Church of Christ is the largest Protestant denomination in New Hampshire. People know us as the Congregationalists on the town square. Our denomination has been in full support of marriage rights for same-sex couples and full civil rights for gay and lesbian persons for over 35 years. People talk about this bill as taking away religious rights for some people. People talk about this bill as being something that would force clergy to do something against their will or opposed to their own theology. This bill forces no one to do anything against his or her conscience. I would never support such a bill. I assume that all of my clergy colleagues will continue to assess every couple who comes to them seeking to be married based on the quality of their love and relationship, not on their gender or sexual orientation. If a minister is morally opposed to marriage equality, then he or she should continue to have the full right to refuse to officiate for any couple. On the other hand, this law, if this bill became law, it would allow some of us to exercise our faith more fully. In fact, I believe, bottom line, that this bill has really nothing to do with clergy or religion, other than it is about justice, it is about fairness. The Christian church that I know has always been on the side of justice, equality, and fairness, no matter whose lives were at stake or what someone else personally thought. My partner and I have been married in the eyes of God for almost 2 decades.
Reverend Tigert, I'm going to have to ask you to sum up, please.
Right. My summary is that whatever you do today will not take away the spiritual and emotional love between same-sex couples, but it will make our lives feel a little easier and a little bit more respectful and a little more fair. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your testimony.